PodCat, episode 32, where I had the great honor to talk to Alexandra Wong, who is a great storyteller, and she humbly claimed herself a solopreneur, but I believe she has so many people supporting her, and she's definitely a great food lover. So keep watching, guys, so you can learn more about food and money tips. So welcome, Alex.
Hey, hi, Kat. Hi, everyone. So nice to see you, and thanks for not making me feel alone.
Right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And for the benefit of everyone is watching, could you please briefly introduce yourself?
Oh, okay. So I'm Alex, Alexandra Wong. I've been a writer since 2005. Okay, so you can guess how old I am. Before I became a writer, I was actually working in Dell Computer in corporate sales. I was a telemarketer.
I was in IT too.
Oh, you in IT too? I see. Okay. So in 2005, I quit my job and I took a leap of faith to pursue writing, which was a childhood dream. Fast forward 15 years, and I've been a writer ever since then. And I thought that I would be a journalist, an author forever, until MCO came along. And I have to say that it changed the direction of my career a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. We have been through so much. We have been through like a CMO, CMCO, and now this RMCO. So could you share with us how has this pandemic really changed you? Like affected your work and everything?
Okay. So today I'm going to share something which I've not really told a lot of people. I try to actually keep a very cheerful and optimistic personality, or whatever you call it, on social media, because I know a lot of my family members and good friends read it. So I don't want to say things that are too negative that will make them upset or sad. But actually, when MCO came along, I lost quite a few of my writing jobs. Okay. Because a lot of my clients, they are either in travel or in industries that are related, to food. And so when MCO came along, some of my clients, actually almost all of my clients, had to postpone their projects. It was a bit of a shock to me. And in the beginning, I really didn't know how to deal with it. I was worried. I was scared. When one after another email came in telling me, hey, Alex, sorry, but we'll have to run your story a little bit later because, income is affected. But the other thing would be that occurred to me was, what am I going to do with my time? Yeah, so I think at that time I went into a little bit of an emotional roller coaster, and I was basically, trying very hard to think of what I could do to fill up my time. And that's when I started looking at a website project that I had started a few months earlier, but which I basically sat on and did nothing about it. And that is actually my website, Cook With Ipoh Bunny.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's the story of that.
Yeah, that's the truth. Because I had to do something. What you're looking at is actually the last column I wrote for The Star. As you can see, I held a column called Naval Gazer, and after 10 years, it came to an end. So that screenshot is actually the last article I wrote for them. Yeah, so Bunny's Prints is a collection of all my articles, and what you're looking at now is actually an article from my new website, which is Cook With Ipoh Bunny. Okay, so this is a story I did about an artist who's actually originally from Sabah, but she lives in Japan. And what drew me to her story was that she said to me, same thing, she was affected by the MCO, needed to fill up her time, and she turned to she turned to something that she used to do quite actively, which is art. So she shared her art on one of the biggest Facebook groups. So when I learned what she did, I thought, hey, that's something quite interesting, because it's an example of someone who, we're all struggling with our own issues during the MCO. So I was looking for stories along that line, for people who found ways to cope with their difficulties.
Wow. I believe that's something great that you are doing, because it inspires so many people. Just like ourselves, I believe it's for everyone. We have all experienced this as a shock. Like none of us has experienced this before. Doesn't matter who you are, whether you're working, you have your own business, doesn't matter which industry, everyone is affected. So it's so great that you are doing this to tell people that no, we are not alone. We are all on the same boat.
You got it. Yeah, I think that's the message I was trying to send out. That hey, you're not alone, and maybe we can get ideas from other people what to do with ourselves and
yeah. I guess this is a time where we are all pushed out of our comfort zone, do something new. It's just like even my podcast show, we used to do like a recorded. We can take as many takes as we want, but now we are doing live recording,
which comes with its own challenges, right?
Yes, and challenging and interesting as well.
So when I set up my own website, I could set the rules. I can do certain things that I was not able to do in the past. As you know, I write two kinds of things. One are recipes, the other kinds are like articles. So for the recipes, what I tried to do was, if I use a certain ingredient and I know which is the company that's manufacturing it, I actually link, I link to the company, or I write a short description about the company. So this is my way of actually directing traffic to, the local company to help them. Yeah, I don't know whether I've managed to help anybody sell any noodles or bread, but that's the little I can do lah.
Oh, it's not really saying this just because we are on the show, but I'm really telling you that after reading your article about Charlie's Cafe.
Oh, okay.
Then I started like checking out. Oh, yeah, he's been really active on Facebook, like trying to strive on this, to post videos of him like cooking and this, like things like that, and then all the steps about how he's doing this this precaution for like people's safety, for customers who eat in there, or for food delivery. I actually went there to have a meal.
Oh wow! At first, my website was focused mainly on recipes. And during MCO, some of our lifestyle behavior changed. So I started ordering a lot of food and spending a lot more time on social media. And that's when I noticed that one of my regular hangouts, which was Charlie's Cafe, he was also doing things out of the norm. I already know that he's got quite a lively personality and he's very active on social media. But then I noticed that he was also now uploading funny videos of himself trying his food. And sometimes he would ride on trends. Like I remember one time he did this super hilarious video about that played on the whole Doraemon thing, the Doraemon voice. So he did it. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so funny. and that's when it hit me that as an entrepreneur, whether you're in F&B or some other industry, this is the time when you really have to do whatever it takes to survive. So I thought that might be a story that would that other people would relate to. So I asked him, hey, are you keen to be interviewed and for me to write a story? And he agreed. And actually, what happened after that was something which he was actually an experiment. Okay, he was the first person to actually agree to be interviewed for my website. And I'm like, hello, I'm just Cook With Ipoh Bunny. I'm not a star or a Forbes or whatever. But he agreed, and he was very patient with my many questions. But you know what? I think when the article was finally published, it was worth the effort from both our sides, because there were a lot of views. There were thousands of views, and I believe quite a few people actually went to Charlie's out of curiosity, or maybe because reading the article reminded them of this cafe. I don't know, but I know it did bring him a few new customers lah.
Like, what have you realized from this doing this Ipoh Bunny? And also one quick question, like, is there a story behind Ipoh Bunny?
Actually, well, I'm from Ipoh.
Okay.
And
Bunny
is actually a nickname that was given to me by a dear friend who actually passed on about 5-6 years ago. So I kept that name to kind of remember her.
Okay, it definitely sticks. It's definitely so easy to remember.
Yeah. That's also important. To find something that's catchy. In fact, regarding the website, I wasn't sure what name I should give it because I was afraid Cook With Ipoh Bunny is too kampong or whatever, you know. So one of my friends actually taught me something. She said, you should ask your readers. You should throw the question back to your readers and get them to help you decide, you know. So that's what I did, and the vast majority actually went for this name rather than something more generic like modern Malaysian kitchen or I almost went down that kind of route. But in the end, I decided to go with Ipoh Bunny, Cook With Ipoh Bunny, and I'm happy with it. I think it's easy to it's memorable lah. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's not just that. It just feel very Malaysian, very very home-like.
Yeah, homey, and I want a friendly vibe. Yeah.
But right now, you can basically write anything. You are not restricted by any contents or anything. Like, you can just write and do anything that you love, which is food, right?
But it's very liberating. It's very liberating because
liberating is the word.
It's very liberating. So and it's not just the content. I also get to experiment with the format. Because I'm a one-woman show, so I have to do everything from deciding what story to looking for the interviewee to deciding photos. It's technical stuff, which it's really a steep learning curve. Okay, because I'm not from a technical background, but I'm glad I pushed through with it because I learned a lot of things, and I feel that I can be a lot more independent in the kind of things I want to create.
So you're not alone, like you have team, like you have supporters.
I think realized, yeah. Actually, that's actually a good point because you reminded me. I'm not alone, and I realized that in the past I'm very shy to actually ask people for help. But during MCO, because I really don't have a choice, I can't even meet people. I have no choice but to sometimes ask on Facebook, hey, does anybody know how to do this? Or, oh, I'm facing difficulty with this. And I was actually very surprised by the number of people. And sometimes I don't even know them. They just come forward and offer their help.
Right.
So I think it kind of reaffirms also my own faith in humankind.
Yeah. So are there any other favorite stories that you would like to share when it comes to interviewing these people?
I think one of them that I would like to share is actually the story of Sam Lau from he's actually a pretty famous baker in Ipoh. So he was actually having a pretty successful run, and he was actually featured on TV and even in the New York Times. And then suddenly he had to close because of the MCO. And I thought that he might be this is the story. So when I spoke to him, I thought that he would be very down, but instead he saw it actually as an opportunity to do something new. And he shared with me his own challenges in running a cafe, and it hasn't been easy, and he felt that maybe, and it was very stressful, and but during MCO, how would I put this? He basically didn't look at it negatively. Instead, he just what he did was he went back to the basics. He started concentrating on one product instead of many products that he was selling at his cafe. And he tells me, hey, you know, actually now life is simpler and easier. And I think he's actually having a more relaxed lifestyle now compared to when he was running a cafe in one of the busiest parts of Ipoh. So I think life can bring you all kinds of unexpected things. And so anyway, you know, the point is sometimes we just have to give ourselves a chance to do something new.
So, well, thank you, PodCats, for listening. You can find the show notes and links on our website, mypf.my/podcast. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next show. Hasta pronto.